Welcome, everyone. It is Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's January 3rd, 2020. The show, as always, is presented by the Marijuana Times. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find this show. Ton of great articles there as well. Keep up to date on the cannabis community, industry, and beyond at marijuanatimes.org. Search the Marijuana Times on YouTube as well to find us. Make sure you subscribe. We're closing in on 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you to all of you who make that possible, and follow and share and like and comment and all that good stuff. Today we're talking about Oklahoma and their attempts at adult use legalization. Also, two new marijuana laws have went into effect in Colorado. We'll talk about those. And marijuana shops in Illinois are already running out of product. Update you on all of that. Whoops, that was wrong. Coming up. But first, of course, cannabis news. It's brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and they're organic, all-natural pesticides. Don't throw just awful crap on what you're growing. I don't care if it's cannabis, I don't care if it's tomatoes, I don't care what it is. Don't use harmful chemicals. Don't use banned pesticides in the state that you're growing in, especially if you're growing cannabis. Be regulatory compliant. Don't use harmful chemicals. Don't use poison. Use Natureside. Nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News now for over 2 years. Thank you, Natureside, for your continued awesomeness and for supporting the show. Go check them out because they will support you in your attempts to grow marijuana safely and poison-free. This first story by Julia Granowitz at marijuanatimes.org. Oklahoma activists revised their legalization petition to protect medical marijuana. Michelle Tilley and Ryan Kiesel have pulled State Question 806 and have submitted a revised language resulting in State Question 807, which is now pending signature gathering approval. Tilley said in the press release, quote, "The new ballot initiative strengthens the language of the previously filed initiative to ensure that we are crystal clear that this program does not adversely affect the current Oklahoma medical marijuana industry or its patients." The bill will still legalize marijuana for adults 21 and older. It will allow for the possession of up to an ounce and the right to cultivate up to 6 mature plants and 6 seedlings at once. Of course, home growing, a vital pillar and part of any decent marijuana legalization effort. And as we've mentioned before, the medical marijuana, the way they've handled medical marijuana in Oklahoma has been quite impressive. Probably the most impressive of any state that's legalized medical marijuana so far in regards, or in terms of the speed and efficiency with which it's been done. Hopefully that continues for recreational marijuana. Once the Secretary of State approves the measure, they need to get 170,000 signatures in a 90-day window. It seems like a lot. So if you're in Oklahoma, get ready. They're on the starting line. They're close to the starting line, and about to fire the gun for the start of the race, or some other great analogy, or at least a better one than that. This next story from CBS Local in Denver. 2 marijuana laws go into effect in Colorado in 2020. Among the state laws going into effect on January 1st are 2 new marijuana laws, both of which will still await implementation in Denver and other municipalities. Governor Jared Polis signed the bills into law in 2019. House Bill 1234 allows for the commercial delivery of marijuana. It will begin with medical marijuana in 2020, and recreational pot will follow a year later. House Bill 1230 will allow 2 new types of marijuana-related businesses in the state. Businesses can apply to be licensed as a tasting room that can sell cannabis products on site, or marijuana hospitality establishments, quote, end quote, which will allow the on-site consumption of marijuana but not the sale of it. Hospitality establishments can be mobile, such as a tour bus. Some expansion and improvement going on in Colorado. Denver's not decided officially yet whether we will opt in or opt out, said Eric Escudero, spokesman for the Denver Department of Excise and Licenses, which reviews local license applications. There are a couple places now where social use is happening in Denver, where customers can bring their own cannabis products, or they can walk into a separate but connected dispensary next door. In terms of in the coffee joint, which is located on Yuma Court in Denver. So new stuff happening in Colorado, progress, if you will. And we'll see this with hopefully all legalization measures once they're implemented, once things are going then you start adding stuff on top: delivery, social use lounges, hospitality, all that kind of stuff. So good for Colorado. And of course, Colorado now has a governor who's very pro marijuana. Jared Polis was one of the biggest champions of marijuana law reform in Congress, and now he's the governor of Colorado. So, yeah, he's on board, let's say. So last story from blockclubchicago.org. Pot shops already running out of cannabis flower, THC oils as recreational pot buyers flood dispensaries. I will say that I predicted this just the other day. Shortages of marijuana. Of course, many other people, to be fair, predicted it as well, and it really wasn't all that hard to predict. But still, I will still take credit for my prediction nonetheless. There's just not enough supply. There's a healthy demand for legal cannabis. And it's going to take a while, especially with all the taxes and regulations and government interference, for supply to come anywhere close to that demand. A demand the black market's been serving for decades now, and will continue to do so for the most part until the legal industry and the governments that oversee the legal industry allow it to compete and don't tie its hands and hamstring it and make it impossible. You've all seen the pictures of the receipts coming out of Illinois. It's a lot. It's quite expensive. And still, they're running out of it. That's how much a demand for legal cannabis there is. And just one day, cannabis enthusiasts in Illinois have bought nearly $3.2 million in legal weed. That was day one. But as 9 Chicago dispensaries attempt to keep up with both medical and recreational demand, long lines, limited stock, and sellouts of some products have been reported. By Thursday afternoon, Logan Square's Modern Cannabis was out of almost everything. By that time, the Logan Square dispensary only had THC gummies and chocolate available for recreational customers. The owner said on Instagram they expected to get more cannabis flower and vape cartridges in soon. Soon. MOCA employee Anna Maria Solis said they sold out of marijuana flower around noon Thursday, 2 hours after opening. She said it depends on the cultivators and what the cultivators can provide. I foresee it having limitations for a couple months, to be quite honest. Other dispensaries, especially around Chicago, are having various levels of shortages. Some dispensaries are still in the game, I guess if you would say. Dispensary 33, a Mission Dispensary. So we have flower, vape cartridges, edibles, and more available for recreational users, according to staff. This was as of January 2nd. Also at Midway Dispensary and Sunnyside Dispensary. Could not be reached for comment, but according to their online menus, they did still have flower available. Basically, if you're looking for legal marijuana in Illinois, even if you're in Chicago, expect them, be prepared that they might not have it. It's just the nature of restricting supply to the point where it is completely out of whack with demand, which results in shortages, and this is the way it's going to be. And I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but you can't keep hamstringing legal businesses with excessive regulations and adding to their overhead unnecessarily, and the taxes. It's just too much. Most people, there's going to be some people who say, oh, well, I'll pay exorbitant prices to be part of history or whatever and have the opportunity, and that's great. But most people are going to stick with the guy that they've been buying weed from for 10, 15, 40 years or 3 months, whatever it is. Their guy, the guy they call, the guy they go see, the person they go see, the person who delivers to them illegally, whatever. They're going to stick with that person because they know that person, they know what they have, and the price is much, much lower. I don't know. There's nothing hard about that. There's nothing hard about people buying more stuff at lower prices. It's just the way it is. I don't know. And it sucks, Legal marijuana should be more of a celebration and more of a, hey, finally cannabis delivered to the people or whatever. And it's not the torrent of supply that it should have been. It is they trickle, and the potential is being wasted of the legal industry. It's completely being wasted, and that's awful. But there's nothing I can do about it. I'm doing my best here. I'm trying everything. I'm doing a video show, I'm making audio available on Apple Podcasts. We do stories at marijuanatimes.org. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. But you keep spreading the word, of course, about cannabis, spreading the truth with this show, liking, commenting, sharing, all that stuff. We do have a makeup show tomorrow, which is a Saturday. I'm going to record the show. That's, just like I said, the makeup First show I didn't do earlier this week. We do 5 days a week, 5 shows a week, no matter what. Rain, sun, snow, sun, whatever. We'll be here with Cannabis News. MakeCannabisGreatAgain.com. Get the swag. MarijuanaTimes.org for all information on the cannabis community, this show, all that stuff. Thank you to Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening today, and we'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.